Alright, hello there, welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video, you see the title, so let's get straight into it. I don't want to waste your guys' time. Thursday night, we have Broncos versus Saints. If you missed this game, trust me, you didn't miss much. Broncos from the very beginning just had their way. Defensively, they smothered the Saints, and the Saints had nothing to lean on. Plus all the injuries that's going on with the Saints, it was an ass whooping. The score was 33-10. Moving on to the Patriots and Jaguars. This game was a Sunday 6:30 a.m. Pacific time game because it was in London. If you missed it because you were sleeping, or if you're on the East Coast and you missed it because you just didn't care anyway, I gotta tell you, this Patriots team is just bad. To only put up 16 points against this terrible Jaguars defense and to not be able to do anything to stop this inconsistent offense, it was rough. And I woke up for this game because I wanted to see football. Honestly, that's all there was to it, and I was not the most entertained. Anyway, Jaguars end up surviving this week, saving Doug Peterson's job for at least another week, moving to 2-5, and the Patriots, with Gerard Mayo calling them soft, we'll see how they respond. Lions and Vikings, this one was a good one. Reason why: Vikings go up 10-0 to start out. Lions just look like they're going to lose by, honestly, a blowout. It was not looking promising, but they respond very nicely. David Montgomery had some nice catches. He had a one-handed catch, by the way, for like 10 yards. It was super nice. Jared Goff was ultra efficient. Jahmyr Gibbs looked phenomenal, having 2 touchdowns, I believe, on this one. I want to double check that. I hate giving wrong information. And yes, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson also 81 yards and a touchdown on 7 catches. It was a really good game. Defensively, the Vikings just did not have an answer for what the Lions brought to the table because Jared Goff, again, ultra efficient, 22 for 25, and the run game was looking really good. Amon St. Brown, also a 100-yard game on 8 catches and a touchdown. It was a phenomenal outing for the Lions. They ended up pulling out the W here. Titans and Bills. The Titans are just a bad team. That's really all there is to it. I could really waste my time on this one, but the Bills had their way because even when they struggled offensively, the Titans couldn't do anything on their offense, and eventually their defense was going to break down. Big plays from Keon Coleman. Josh Allen had some plays, had a touchdown to Amari Cooper. Yeah, this Titans team is bad. Dolphins and Colts. This one was a boring one. Tyler Huntley is obviously not a good quarterback. Colts, Anthony Richardson is just not a good quarterback right now, and it is surprising how bad he really is. You saw what they did with Joe Flacco. They were way more efficient on offense, but they're still trying to develop Anthony Richardson, and he has a promising running game. You know, he can run over defenders. He has a promising arm in that he can throw it super far. My God, he is so inaccurate, and he just does not make the right reads. Nevertheless, it was 16-10, Colts win. I will say this, though. Tua's coming back next week. Dolphins fans, you can be nervous that Tua's coming back, but obviously you can be excited because Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle need Tua. Honestly, this entire offense needs Tua to be remotely good. And you can expect them to start winning some games for sure if you're a Dolphins fan. Nevertheless, though, 16-10, Colts win. Moving on to the Seahawks and Falcons. Seahawks were just all over the Falcons on this one. They were smooth on offense, running the ball, passing the ball, but defensively forcing a fumble from Kirk Cousins, 2 interceptions from Kirk Cousins. It was just a nice, clean outing from them is how I would put it. I mean, I don't see any interceptions. I don't see any fumbles. Kind of surprising to see the Seahawks, take this one with how well the Falcons have been playing, but a much-needed win for the Seahawks. Now 4-3. Falcons are also 4-3. Moving on to the next one, we have Texans and Packers. The Texans' offense was abysmal. I have never seen CJ Stroud play so rough since he really just broke out. 10 for 21, 86 passing yards. It was awful all the way around. They clearly missed Nico Collins, because this was just egregious. Jordan Love had his offensive woes with 2 interceptions, but he does what he does, and that's throw for touchdowns. 3 touchdown passes, one of them to Josh Jacobs, breaking that streak of most receptions without a touchdown. Now he broke that streak. It was a good outing for Romeo Doubs. It was a good outing for this Packers defense. But man, oh man, you are just surprised to see the Texans struggle offensively to that extent. It was bad. I mean, Joe Mixon had a good game, 120 plus rushing yards, but CJ Stroud, oh my God, that was terrible. Terrible. It felt like he didn't have time. It felt like he didn't really have anyone to go to. It was bad. Bengals and Browns. The biggest headline here is Deshaun Watson's out for the season. I mean, I want to say, oh no, but I don't have sympathy for someone who has 25 plus, I think it's 29 sexual assault allegations. So, oh no. Anyway, Bengals taking a much needed win. Obviously starting out the season very rough, but now they're 3-4. It looks like Jameis Winston's going to take over for the Browns, by the way. And as soon as he comes in, they get a touchdown to David Njoku. So, okay, Browns, you're going to have a better offense. You might have more interceptions, but Browns are going to have a better offense. Much needed win for the Bengals, by the way. 21-14. Eagles and Giants. I mean, I feel like I come on here and shit on the Giants every week, and not so much the Giants, but Daniel Jones. It's kind of getting out of hand. I don't want this to be a Daniel Jones hate video every freaking week. So I'm just going to say this. The Giants suck. The Eagles, yeah, I mean, Saquon is insane. A.J. Brown made some plays. Jalen Hurts made some plays. This Eagles defense hasn't been stellar, but they held the Giants to 3 points. So, not much to say other than, wow, this Giants team is ass. Raiders and Rams, 15-20 was your final total here, and it was a boring game, if I'm being completely honest here. These teams just lack offensive power, offensive weapons. It's not pretty to watch. You're throwing to guys who you feel like, wow, they're really your number one weapon right now. It's not pretty. I mean, Brock Bowers is good, but I was just talking about the receivers in particular for the Raiders. So I'm not trying to diss on Brock Bowers. He's definitely good, but the quarterback situation is messed up. The Rams, yeah, like I said, they're not healthy, and Kyron Williams is really good, but it's not a pretty game. These two teams are very uncompetitive moving forward. Panthers and Commanders. Commanders put the whoop ass from the start and just did not hold up, even when Jaden Daniels went out. By the way, that's looking like a week-to-week injury on the ribs. Nothing broken supposedly, but week to week, so who knows if he'll play the next game against, I think it's the Bears. But anyway, the Commanders just whooped this team's ass. It was utter domination from the start. Even with Marcus Mariota, and they still won the point differential. It was crazy. Really crazy to even think about. Andy Dalton with a terrible outing, 93 passing yards, 2 interceptions. Bad outing for the Panthers. Chiefs and 49ers. This game was frustrating in the sense that it felt like both offenses played like such dog water. The Chiefs end up winning 28-18. Like, it was not pretty offensively for these teams. Brock Purdy, 3 interceptions, 212 passing yards, no passing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, 154 passing yards, 2 interceptions, no passing touchdowns. It's just bad. The Chiefs are 6-0 too. That's the crazy part, but they don't look like a 6-0 team. Their offenses look the worst I've ever seen it in all of the Patrick Mahomes years. And Patrick Mahomes has never played this bad. Obviously, injuries are affecting it, but it's just bad. Anyway, though, San Francisco 49ers losing Brandon Ayuk to a torn ACL for the rest of the year. That is a huge loss. Obviously, you don't want to see any player go down with a torn ACL, but you're talking about a dude who just got paid, who's been struggling and trying to, find his form, and then boom. 49ers are in some deep shit. Definitely into some deep shit. Jets and Steelers, 37-15. If you watched my video last week, you'll know damn well my thoughts on this. Russell Wilson was definitely the right move, and it's nice to see myself vindicated because he comes out and has 264 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns. I'm not trying to say I'm a genius or anything, because honestly I'm not, but anyone who watched the games, anyone who can pull up a stat sheet and see that their passing offense was terrible. I remember it being, I want to say 28th or 30th. I think it was the second worst passing offense. I don't remember which one exactly. It might have been 20th or 30th. But regardless, their passing offense was god awful. Justin Fields, week after week, 150 passing yards, 150 passing yards. Yes, you can talk about the fact that he does run the ball, but you can't have a passer consistently pass for that much. It's not going to work. Even with Lamar Jackson, he can have games where he can say, okay, I'm going to air it out. Example, last night, 5 passing touchdowns. Justin Fields was never, ever going to do that. You add Russell Wilson to the starting lineup, George Pickens, 5 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown. And to be honest with you, I don't think Russell Wilson was exceptional. I thought he was good. I thought he was a little bit above average. I don't think he was exceptional by any means. I just think that you need to have a quarterback who's going to try and air it out and make this offense less predictable. Because even in the first quarter, it was like they were still calling plays as if it was Justin Fields with the constant run the ball, first down, second down, run the ball on first down, second down, run the ball on first down, second down. Okay, on third down, play action. It was just super predictable. But again, they started opening up the playbook as the game went on. On the flip side, though, yeah, this Jets team I am at a loss of words with how things have gone. You fire Robert Saleh, try to salvage the season when you're 2-3. You proceed to lose 2 in a row after trading for Davante Adams, after bringing back Hassan Reddick, and your defense is just objectively worse. Wow, what a blunder from the Jets. What a blunder from the Jets. And Aaron Rodgers, obviously, yeah, bad. Ravens, Buccaneers. Ravens have just showed why they're an elite team. Start out 0-2, win 5 in a row. I don't want to, shout out any YouTube channel because I don't want to give credit to people who, I don't want to bash on people who, I just don't want to be negative. But I saw on a power rankings after 2 weeks, the Ravens were 19th. And I thought to myself, that is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. The Ravens were never 19th in the league in terms of how good they are. No. I don't care if they're 0-5. The Ravens with their squad were never that bad. And they've just won 5 in a row. Derrick Henry's insane. Lamar Jackson's insane. This defense has so many talented players. Zay Flowers didn't even have a game, but guess what? Rashad Bateman as a deep threat, 4 catches, 121 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, like I said, you can have a quarterback that can run all day, but when Lamar Jackson needs to air it out, 17 for 22, 281 yards, 5 touchdowns. It's just what you come to expect from him at this point, honestly. He's insane. And on the flip side, Buccaneers late in the game, losing Chris Godwin out for the year. Also in the first quarter, Mike Evans reactivating his hamstring injury. It's tough because this Buccaneers team, when healthy, obviously they're a serious threat, but losing those two is huge, especially Chris Godwin out for the year. It's just gut-wrenching. Chargers, Cardinals, another boring game. A lot of not good offense. I mean, if you just look at the Chargers receiving core, it's just terrible. Justin Herbert's making do with what he has, but it's not enough. Kyler Murray, has plays where he's exceptional, but it seems like some of his reads can be all over the place, missing some plays that he needs to be making. 145 passing yards is not enough. 64 rushing yards is great, but 145 passing yards is not enough. And a lot of it, honestly, I do think is their receiving core isn't great. Greg Dortch is not great. Michael Wilson is not great. Marvin Harrison Jr. is still learning. He is still learning. James Conner is a great running back, but he's not your receiving threat kind of running back. He's not a Christian McCaffrey. Trey McBride is solid. He is solid. I'm not going to say but anything about that. Trey McBride is solid. But ultimately, Kyler Murray's weapons are clearly not it for him right now. Nevertheless, though, they win 17-15. It was an ugly game, but they win. That is everything you might have missed from Week 7. Let me know what you guys think about Week 7. How do you feel about anything? As always, I greatly appreciate you guys for watching. This is All We've Been Different. On We've Been Different. And we out.